Morning everybody, how we doing? Very good. Just final bits of setup to do. Nearly there. Alright. So I thought what we could have so you can have that's unprofessional, isn't it? Thought we could have the DJI camera set up, maybe for a bit of a talking head. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 7 plans, how you doing? Oh, just get some stuff out of my pocket, right. Cool. Nearly there. We need a guitar, don't we? Plectrum. This is the Osmo, this one, it's the Osmo Pocket 3, but it's not my main camera. I thought, well, I've got it kind of hanging around, so, you know, might as well use it. This is the main camera, where we've got a zoom, and we also, if it's all set up, we've got Ableton Live as well. So, and obviously subscribe if you're into all of this. Right. I think we need a bit of a tune up here. Let's get tuned up. And also I'm on the wrong preset. Could be that one. There we go. Always something to set up, hey? I think we'll just get into playing some tracks. So, I've got a question for Enzo as you're here. Enzo, I did a restring the other day of this guitar, and when I got to the E string, I got the dreaded string slip again. And I'm really, wondering what that is. I mean, I had to... Unfortunately, I'd cut the string, so I had to put another string on. And then I spent a bit of time playing about with it, and I had to probably about 3 or 4 times had to keep putting the string back on, and then eventually it kind of worked. But literally it was just slipping and slipping to the point where I couldn't tighten this anymore. Crazy, isn't it? So I've got no idea what's going on there. It's very strange. I've always just been able to put strings on and go. Yeah, that's a good idea. 1, 3, 3, 7. I did pull it as hard as I could without cutting my fingers off. Hey, good day, Rob. How are you doing? E string, high. Hi Kurt, how's it going? Good as I've just been recording some rainbow backing tracks for a friend. Keep getting finger tired on moving between C and B7, but all good. What style of music? I think this is fusion. Well, this is a good tune. Alright, Stelly's here. Hi, Stelly. Love that lick. Hey Sean. We'll come back to that. Foot switch. There we go. I don't know why I was using that for the Zoom. I've got it all in a pedal. Ridiculous, isn't it? Alright, so hi Stelly and everybody else here, and Sean, good morning to you. Hi Good Breeze, thank you. You're a mate. You're too kind. You're too kind. Much appreciated. So I'll play some more tracks. Again, you know, this is an opportunity for anybody got any guitar questions to have a totally free of charge, interactive, real person, as much as you can in the room, within reason, guitar lesson. So any sort of question, especially about shredding or stuff like that, well, anything, we can talk about that. There's also music production stuff we can talk about as well. I'm also a trained music coach, so if there's anything you want to know about productivity, then that's also a thing. But I would like to alert us to just a little post that I put up the other day. I'll just get my phone. Because I want to talk about this just very briefly. So in the spirit of sort of leaving stuff about the place that's actually useful, As you all know, I'm a big fan of the inner game of music. I don't know if anybody here saw the community post that I put up on the YouTube channel. Well, there was two actually. I think Enzo, you've seen it. So I'll read it out, and then we can see. We can quick discussion, nothing too heavy, right? So what I wrote was this: practicing difficult passages? Question mark. Try this mindset shift. Try this mindset shift. Okay. So you know that time where we're kind of, you're playing something, a little phrase or part of a piece, and you're just not getting it, and you're trying as hard as you can, and you're very conscious of like everything that's going wrong in your technique and all this kind of thing. Well, this may help you. In fact, it will help you because it's massively helped me. So I was revisiting an idea from the inner game of music that's been a total game changer for me. When you're working on something hard, the goal isn't to fix anything consciously. Okay, so instead of that mindset of like, this is where it's going wrong, I'm going to try harder, and then focusing on that one bit and losing context, what we're going to do is this. So instead, be observational. So that's the key thing, being observational, not corrective. Notice what happens without judging it as good or bad. So playing without judge. Now that's really difficult to do, and I do a lot of training with music producers on this kind of quality judgment, judging things. Okay, because we are very self-critical, and I hear this a lot with artists. I'm my biggest critic, and it's almost like that's a driving thing. That's not necessarily a kind of good thing. It can actually, in the wrong place, it can hold us down, and I can explain in great detail why this is. But anyway, so you're going to be observational. Notice what happens without judging it as good or as bad. Don't zoom in on the mistakes or try to repair mid-flight. Just watch, listen, and feel. So that's really important. So the watching, the listening, and the feel, we're connecting, we're triangulating our senses. So when we do play it, when it is good, how does it feel? Okay, when we kind of get it locked in, how does it sound? And how does it look? The moment we start thinking, I always mess this bit up, my picking sucks, I need to fix that note. We usually slow the learning down. Paradoxically, trying less often leads to fast improvement. This is the same state that flow shows up in. Okay, so flow, improvisation, playing at tempo. Those moments are where a lick suddenly unlocks out of nowhere. So that was the best way I could put this. Basically, what flow is when we're completely embodied in the task. When you're experiencing flow, there should be time dilations. There's no past, there's no future. We're basically in that performance mode. Okay? And that's where we want to be. And by taking the conscious pressure off, it means we're more present. It means our more brain, instead of having this thinking narrative that's sometimes negative when we're playing and trying to fix something, if we are listening to that self-talk, then we're not listening to the music, so therefore we can't get into a flow state. So by kind of quietening down that head voice, by simply doing the observational thing and focusing on the sensory, we have more of a fighting chance to actually get to that point. Okay, it's like when I'm improvising, a lot of the time on this channel, the time just flies, it just goes, and that's because I'm in flow. So next time you practice something tricky, try this. Observe instead of correcting, listen instead of judging, and let your body learn. So there we go. So do check that out. 4 people did like it. 1 person commented, which was Enzo. And Enzo says that basically that makes so much sense. Forcing my right hand to pick better didn't start happening until I started to relax, and it shifted almost automatically. There you go. I've given you a heart for that, Enzo. Well done. Excellent. Okay. This post generally made my night better. A very true statement and the answer to my question. Yeah, I mean, I don't think enough people know about that in a game of music, and it really sorted me out. And there's a really good, interesting one. Lose the ego. The ego is a thing. Now, a lot of people refer to that self talk, that ego, often as the self one. In a game of music, talks about as self one. Psychologists talk of it as self-talked or narrative circuitry. But either way, that's the bit we want to ignore it. It's useful sometimes. Like if we're talking to somebody important, we don't want to upset them. Then it's good to just have that extra filter to make sure we're polite and nice and all that kind of thing. But other than that, when we're doing music, we don't need it. We need to be literally. We need to have that stream of consciousness. All right, you've got some photos from the 90s. Cool, I wouldn't mind seeing those. Right, I don't really know how these work. The community it's just like when you go to YouTube, there's like a community thing, and I'll put the odd post up. Usually it's me and the hairdressers. There is another post as well. Now, I'll just... Right, now let me see if I can get it. Alright, where is it? Yeah, I mean, I'm not great on the community thing, to be fair. It'd be good if I could actually find it on here, though. 2 seconds. I will get back on and play some more. Right. I've got a backup plan. Because there's something like really important I need to share. And it is here. I think this is pretty cool, right? Let's see if it works. So in the chat, I'm posting this number. So this number here, so those of you who are interested, because I know like I'll say email me, like if you're interested in any of the coaching groups, or if you're interested in one-to-one coaching, or if you're interested in the thing that I have very limited capacity for, like guitar lessons. If you're interested in there, there's a WhatsApp number. Okay, so that is the coaching business number, and you can click on that number and you can contact me on WhatsApp directly, and we can start talking straight away. So if you're worried about, send an email, don't want to waste time, not sure if I've got enough money, all that kind of thing, you can just message me and we can talk on there. So it's like dead quick and easy. If I need to, any sort of like screening type calls for the coaching group, because like before you join the coaching group, I have to talk to you for about half an hour, just to see where exactly you are in your music career. Then it's all kind of there. It's WhatsApp, yeah. Test message. Are you testing? Analog. Yep, you're there. I can see you. WhatsApp business. Excellent. Yep, Stelly, you're there. You're added. And I've responded straight away. And there you go. Excellent. So anybody who wants that, there is the WhatsApp number. Enzo, as your moderator, it might be worth just like copying and pasting that, and then sticking that like in something, just so you can like post it up when I mention sort of coaching and things like that. But I think that's the best thing. I think that's the best idea for this. So anyway, let's play some more tunes. I digress. What's the most common issue you get asked about besides being asked to play certain solos? That's a good question. I'm thinking. Tricks for changes. Right. No tricks. Just a bit of hard work, I think. Just turn the heating off. That's it. Thank you, Vicky. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. So anybody on here, subscribe and please like. And get the notifications. hands are still warming up here. Maybe I should just pick. Ooh, I like Native Instruments battery. Do you use it? I used to years and years ago. Alright, so music production question here, which, where's my mouse gone? Right, okay, so I'm trying to run it in a rack, different buses like EXO, right, okay, yeah. I mean, I'm not sure about that, but EXO you can. I mean, I've got mine set up like pads and everything and separate outs. Works great, but I've actually stopped using EXO and I'm now very much native again in Ableton Live, so I'm using the simplest really, which are great. Okay, Enzo. Yes, you have EXO. But you like battery interface. But yeah, battery's nice, isn't it? But I mean, I don't know what it's like now, but I liked it back in the day. Alright. So actually one thing that really helps me to kind of relax, it's to do with my picking actually. I've been really obsessed with for a while listening to Alan Holdsworth. I can't play anything like Alan Holdsworth, but I absolutely love the sound of his legato. And what I find just incredible is the fact that you see him picking loads when you watch him on a live video. You can't hear the pick really. Occasionally you can hear a little bit of pick bump, but it's a rarity. And to actually achieve that, you have to be like super relaxed. And I think it's a great dynamic to have in your playing. So you'll see me doing a lot of legato, and there's a couple of different stages of how my legato is powered by my right hand. First one is don't use your right hand. I'm still warming up a bit. But yes. The cool thing about this is it teaches you not to have a lazy first finger. And it also gets you really focusing on getting the notes clean. So really clean hammers on. And it gets your muting going as well. So there's like lots of things going on with my muting. Obviously the right hand's muting all the strings that aren't playing, first finger's muting all the ones below, and then there's the clever trick of the first finger which mutes the string below. So it's doing two jobs, that first finger. It's actually, when it's hammering down, it's muting that top string, that fifth string there. So that's your first thing. Rob, when I find you get stuck or feel like you're tensing up, wait, why has that gone small? Let's get it bigger. I need to be on my other thing. Let's have a look. Oh, we go. Right. I find when you get stuck or feel like you're tensing up, I do similar to your community post. I stop, listen, picture in my mind how would I mechanically work and start again. Yeah, very good. So it's just reframing, isn't it? Refocusing the mind, resetting. I like it. So yeah, so hammer-ons, no. And then the other thing is like introducing the kind of pick to this, and this really teaches you to relax, because what we're trying to do is we're trying to give the picking equal volume to the notes that we're hammering and pulling off, to the legato notes. So let's give it a go. You can hear my pick there. But it's really getting me to focus in on that picking and relax my hand. So, yes, I would put on a clean tone, but part of the thing with legato, and this is important, is you want to be playing on the sound that you're going to use, because when you're using drive distortion, a lot of noise comes up with that. So it's like about cleaning it up with the sound that you're using. So we're starting to, the picking attack is starting to kind of come together. I can feel it getting less sharp and more kind of warmer with that legato. So that, you have to be really relaxed. I mean, there the grip on my pick is so like light. You can just pull the pick out of my hand, which actually these picks are really good because they have like these flows have a lot of grip. Having said, this has way more sort of attack, I think, than, I don't know if I've got one on me. I haven't. I've just completely moved to those. Has way more attack than the blue ones. Let's see if I've got a blue pick. No. 2 seconds. Oh, I'm sure I've got an old blunt. Oh, here's one. Oh. Then the blue one. same 1mm. So same 1mm, exactly the same shape, pretty much. Just different material. I can't remember what material that is, but feels good. And then that one, same bevel. Like these bevels are really good because you get nice sort of string slide, and the chirp on it is nice. So actually I'm getting more out of that, so I seem to have more control of this brown one. Yeah. So yeah, just relaxing that. And then the next one for me is like the hybrid. So using this finger is like really good. Looks funny. Sorry everybody. And that's probably using that in combination with like the hammers and pull-offs from nowhere. That's probably the best thing I can do. The only thing I would say about using this finger is it's very difficult. It doesn't flow very well descending, but it works great ascending. So it tends to be pick when I'm hybrid. When I'm doing my hybrid, I tend to be picking on the descending and doing the legato ascending. This is a Tom Quayle thing. He does that pretty much. Unless I'm doing a sequence like that, then obviously then I'm going to use that. Bit of war. It's like being at a festival, innit? Just need to be stood in a field, a muddy field somewhere. That's how I imagine it. Alright, so I tell you what, I think what I should do is I better play some McRocklin and Hutch. I'll play my few McRocklin. This is my band, by the way. Hi Kesh, how you doing? Right, good luck for your exams. I'm sure you'll do absolutely fine and knock it out of the park. And great to have you on here. I don't care what anyone says, you're alright, Tim, thank you. Usually, I must admit, I don't draw that much fire. In fact, that was a question before, like, sort of like what bothers me, like on the lives, what things do I not like, and nothing really kind of bothers me. I think like asking for covers, I don't understand why people come on here and they'll see me shredding and then say, will you play some David Bowie or that kind of thing. Obviously, people are going to say you like Kurt Cobain. I accept that. But that's it really. Nothing bothers me. There's no such thing as a stupid question. Well, that's the whole point. You see, I'm not bothered. Like, I mean, if I started, and I can sing a bit as well. I know if I just started singing, or everybody, it would be like a new crowd, and then what would I do? You know, I'd be doing covers. Oh, there's no point in that. That's not what I'm about. This is the thing about being an artist, right? That I, as usual, learnt the hard way. I spent a good chunk of my career being reactive. In other words, I was just helping people realise their dreams and let them use my skills to produce, play guitar for them, all these kind of things, and not really doing what my own agenda was. And I was like an unhappy, frustrated artist. And then eventually there was a tipping point where I couldn't take it anymore, and then I just took control of my life, and I thought, I don't care if I'm not even popular, nobody likes me. I need to actually do something about this, and I need to start creating and being an independent artist that does not rely on other people's situations. And back in 2014 that happened, and it was a journey, and it was hard, and it was difficult, but God, I just remember waking up one day and going, wow, Tim, it didn't matter about the money, it didn't matter about whether it was a full-time career or anything like that, it didn't matter. I woke up and I felt like an artist, and the world pivoted for me around whether I could be bothered with what I was doing or not, and that was just a wonderful feeling and highly motivating. And I released tons and tons of music and charted 7 times, and then we have like McRocklin Hutch. So you know, being proactive is what we want to do, and with that, this channel is, I know it sounds selfish, as much as it is about me as it's about you. I'm doing my thing at the minute. You know, I really love playing guitar, and I love improvising, and I love playing over cheesy backing tracks, right? And I'm unapologetic about it. I like doing that, and obviously you guys, it's something relatable. Everybody else here can be doing that, and we can all be learning together. And I learn from you guys, you learn from me. I learn a ton of stuff just from doing this, just from getting up and playing consistently in the morning in front of an audience. I think it's been the best way to improve, because you're putting yourself under pressure, and you're only as good as your last gig. So my next gig will be tomorrow, you see. So if I've got to, if I completely fuck this up, right, then I've got another, 4 gigs to go to sort of pull it round, and that's motivating, because you think, well, that gig wasn't great. What can I do to make it better? And isn't that the best practice you could possibly have? Because it's motivating. You can still practice on your own, but at least you've got real world problems to fix. This happened in a live when I was playing in front of people, and now I'm going to fix it. Do karaoke songs count as gigs? That's a good question. Right, now I do like to do the odd bit of karaoke here and there, right? So when I'm up singing, it feels like a gig, so I think it could be a gig. You could make it into a gig by just hogging the karaoke and just singing the set for half an hour, couldn't you? That would be a gig of well-rehearsed karaoke tunes, which people do. So yes, if it's a gig to you, it's a gig to everybody else. I was in a punk rock garage cover band at high school, but nothing was more rewarding than when I started writing my own music. Yeah, and I too am a punk. Still, it's in my heart. My favourite guitarist when I was younger, hero of mine, was Steve Jones out of the Sex Pistols. I absolutely love Steve Jones. What a guy. And I love like the Sex Pistols, like the attitude, the playing. It's good. I mean, like, what's not to like there? Yeah, well, everything comes down to the wins, problems and opportunities, doesn't it? So Enzo's mentioning WPO, so that's wins, problems and opportunities, and that's the process I use to review everything that I'm doing. So, after this basically what I'll do is I'll do wins, problems and opportunities. I will review this live, especially my guitar playing, and have a look at the areas where I found it difficult and come up with solutions. But the reason we have wins is because you need to look at the positive things first, because if you don't do that, you just feel really bad about yourself. And as human beings, we love to like kind of beat ourselves up. So whatever happens, you have to do the positives first. Then you can do your problems, because we love problems. And then the exciting bit is coming up, brainstorming or mind showering lots of solutions to those problems. And there's Galactic. Also, Galactic, we have, so I've posted a number, just copy and paste that. That's the WhatsApp business number. So if anybody wants to contact me directly about the coaching, that's the WhatsApp. Chili. Oh, I like it. It feels like the perfect song when you're off to a fight, the final boss or fight, or training montage. Very good. I don't something like that. Alright. Do you know, I'm not drinking coffee today. I'm drinking lion's mane tea. It's meant to help cognitive function. I'm not so sure. Like at the end. So this, at the end, that is, I did it in the Legato, didn't I? It's a E minor pentatonic scale, 3 notes per string, starting from the G on the 6th string. And it's groups of 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's a good picking exercise actually, because like if you're alternate picking, which I'm not when I'm doing this, it's going to make you pick. You've got to, when you're switching strings, it's a different picking angle. Sorry, a different picking stroke. So if you're starting on a down, the next one will be on an up and down. But if you're doing the same pattern, yeah. And you can do it descending, which is quite hard. So I like it legato. And you can combine it with other shapes. So that's quite a nice one. So you can have 3 notes per string. And then start utilising 3-1-3 patterns. You could pick that as well. Same pattern, yeah. Groups of 7. Seems to work very nice, but you could do 6s, you can do whatever. Could you tap it? You could tap it. But not how I would want to do it. Just I find it more easier to access other things if I just keep it all with this hand. You know, I might want to go over there. I mean, I'm trying to put more tapping into my playing, and I used to do a lot of tapping, but I tend to forget about it. I'm too lazy to bring this hand over to the fretboard. I mean, when I'm writing solos, tapping tends to creep in, weirdly enough. That kind of thing, yeah. Alright. I'll just have a look at my track list here. this be it. What's this in D minor? D major. Well, it goes to A minor. Right, got it now. No covers, I'm afraid. But that reminds me, anybody here who's liking the shredding, please subscribe. You should write a track called No Covers and maybe have very similar melody. Yeah, it's just the time that I would kind of spend putting together, and I would also probably find it skinny radish, soul destroying. That's the thing. So no, I'm not going to play Cocoon. It's great to have you on this channel, but this channel is about uncertainty. It's about not knowing what's in the future, and it's about grasping that. To be true artists, we need to have we have to embrace uncertainty. And if I play a cover, then everybody's going to be certain. Okay, that's the point. So if you want uncertainty and discomfort, or you just want to try and improve concentration span because there's too much scrolling in the world, then this is actually a good place to be. Oh, the covers are coming. Right, no, I won't play any covers, Mac, but it's great having you on here. And if you're a guitar enthusiast and you like cool guitars, and you like shred guitar playing that's improvised, then you're in the right place. Or if you're an aspiring artist, then it's a good thing. Play E minor blues. Now that's a request, right? E minor blues. Well, here's an E minor blues scale. And then we can have an E minor blues shred, couldn't we? I wasn't actually mentally prepared to do that. Could have been better. So there we go. I can provide some certainty like that. Okay. You can ask for guitar lessons. That's fine. Although that's not what my training is in. I have taught for years, but I try to avoid that, and I tried to go for more of a coaching thing because I think it's way more helpful. As human beings, we need to be creating more, and if we're going to make art and not AI slop, right, then we have to be able to embrace uncertainty. We have to look at our results, even though it wasn't what we planned, as something that we can work on. I like this. Yeah, it's being an artist like Tim. It's like walking in a minefield of high intensity shred whilst blindfolded. That's the one. That is me. And except you're indestructible. So when you step on a mine and it blows up, you go, right, well, that was the wrong way to go, I'll try this way, and then that kind of blows up. In other words, if you design something, designing's a straight line, isn't it? A bit like playing a cover. I'm going to play this cover and it's going to be like that. And then there's only two things that can either happen. You're either going to play it worse, which is usually the case, or you're going to play it better. Or you might go, I really like that song, I'm going to write a song just like it, and then that's a straight line, and that's design. So, like, all of those things aren't really art. Art is when we don't really know what the future is. This is why I love, like, improvisation. A lot of the times you're not really sure kind of what the outcome could be, and it's kind of working towards that, isn't it? The only way you can actually move when improvising is you have to be embodied in the moment, and that's when you're in flow. And when you're in flow, it's a beautiful state to be in. There is no timeline, as I keep saying. There's no past, there's no future. There's only basically you. You experience the real you when you are in flow. Why? Is because there's no self-one. When I was talking earlier about the narrative circuitry, the voice that says, oh, you're doing this badly, you're doing that, you should be doing this. When that's not there, that's you. What blew my mind is when I was told that narrative circuitry wasn't me, and the person that was me was the person listening to it. And then I kind of got the concept. And actually, it was an audio recording from my coach explaining this to a group of us, because we were doing a research project. It was called In Search of Flow, and it was a pilot program for some coaching he was going to roll out of how to make an album really fast. But a lot of making that album fast was flow practice, and we were studying extreme sports athletes because they have the best flow. It was a really interesting time, and so he had a load of research on this, and he was explaining it to us. And I remember being in the car, because I was just too daft to get it at first. I had to listen to it a few times. And then when I got it, I thought, wow, that is amazing. And it wasn't just when I was improvising. When I was making music, I realised that I wanted to be in that flow state. I didn't want to be, like, analytical. When I was being analytical, that's when I just designed and did my most boring music. When I was just in the moment and creating with no judgment, that's when I was truly, truly, truly free. In fact, when I'm talking, I should be on this. Oh, that's the subscribe button. Do subscribe. There we go. That was the moment that I was truly, truly free, you know? I look a bit yellow on this camera, don't I? Go back to the other one. Not sure. There we go. It's better. Need to do some white balancing. So let me know your thoughts. What do you guys think? Yes, right. Now this is 100% correct, Skinny. And the narrative is, I'm not saying you should ditch it. What you do is I have what's called the automatic music machine, and I coach everybody on this method, okay? And it's basically a way that when you're in the studio and you're making music, okay, that is insightful. That's in a flow state. We don't want any of that analytical stuff, that narrative, okay? That narrative is what we call the editor, and the editor is super helpful in having an opinion after the event. So what I always tell everybody is make some music unconsciously, okay? Have permission to make crap and make loads of it, and then in minimum of 3 days have a listen back. When people listen back to it and they find something they really like, then that is time outside of the studio to do a planning session on what your next moves are going to be to develop that piece of music, and that's what we call a discovery session. So that's how it works. So it's a dance between the editor, okay, but it's no good having the editor in the same room as you when you're performing. It's highly not recommended, because you will listen to that and you won't listen to the music. And often when you are making music, or improvising, it's negative narrative circuitry, because that editor is trying to protect you from a situation. But when you're outside of that situation, not in the studio, reviewing your music or reviewing a performance, that is when you're most likely going to have the more reliable data. So if you think about it, when you're improvising, right? Like, so there'll be a thing, like at times on this live stream, I'm thinking, oh God, my playing's a bit shit, right? And that thought is there because you're in and out of flow. So I'll have those thoughts quite regularly. And then what will happen is I'll listen back to some of the live and I'll think, that, like, what's actually happened there isn't what was happening in my head. Okay, my head was reporting on a much, much worse scenario. Actually, that's quite good and presentable, and I can see why people like that. So this is why you need distance. And the problem is with that is you get the physical negative feeling from the editor when that happens, when you're in a performance mode, mixed up with what's actually going on with the music. All we want to be focused in on is the emotion of the music, not the emotions caused by our self-one editor reviewing our performance in real time. In other words, the best way to put it, right, when you're in the moment and then out of the moment with this editor in a performance situation, okay, it's very difficult to get to the true music. It's like trying to taste orange juice after you've had mouthwash. Mouthwash is self-one. The music is the orange juice, okay? But we need to just have the taste of the orange juice. If we have that, then we can respond to that. And even then, the question is, okay, when we're listening to the music and we're playing to the music, it's a discovery process. So we need to ask ourselves, what is the music wanting us to do? Or what is the music wanting me to do? As soon as you go, which is back to the editor, I'm going to do this, because I've worked on this lick, 9 times out of 10, it happened to me actually today, you drop that lick in and you'll mess it up. Because you weren't listening to the music, you were listening to a thought about telling you to play that lick, and then you were planning that lick whilst the music was cruising past and you're paying hardly any attention to it, and then you decide to drop it in. It doesn't work. Right, well, right, what's the question? God, right, what is the most impactful right hand, left hand synchronizer? Right, okay. So we're talking about picking. Troy Grady, there's all the slanted picking. That is the most impactful. So 10 times out of, 10 times out of 10, right? If you're struggling with a lick and there's something going on with it to do with involving string crossing, that'll be where the point of error is, and it's simply just a mechanical fix. Usually what you'll find is you've got the wrong pick slant. So if you have, ideally, because it can be a little bit tricky to kind of take in pick slanting, I think, and confusing. Ultimately, what you're trying to do is not have the pick trapped behind a string. And this is really for alternate picking. Like if you do 3 notes per string, right? Let's say I'll do like A minor. Oh, and I'll quickly end on this. So if you're doing A minor, and come and do it this way, you can see the rotation. Upward slant, the pick comes away, which means it's not trapped, and that can do the upstroke. So you're not getting trapped. Now if you had the wrong picking angle, say if I start with a down, I'm trapped in the middle, and yet I need to do an upstroke, so the hand has to come out, jump over the string without hitting it, and then do an up, and then do the up pick, right? And that's when you experience the uncomfortable bouncing motion. So it's usually to do with the rotation. That's like descending alternate picking. And you can probably see this hand weaving through the strings. And that's just so I don't get the pick stuck. So yes, very good question. 30 years of playing, I've come to the conclusion that DAWs and AI have completely destroyed the art form, drowning it out with slop. Well, we know what slop is, so it's not destroying the music, but it's up to us to like make good music. I think DAWs are great. I use them all the time. I used to be, well, still am, an electronic music producer, and my band McRocklin Hutch obviously has a big part of that, as you know. DAWs in combination with AI, probably. But I do think what we need to do is we need to think of our DAWs as an instrument. In other words, do not allow the technology to tell you what to do. You have to 100% being able to tell it what to do, or it's worrying. Tim is correct. When you play improv, it makes total sense. Small hands are fine. There's like little kids like on full size guitars just absolutely shredding. So don't worry about your hands. Don't let that be an excuse and stop you from enjoying the most amazing instrument in the world. Please, do play. There we go. And then, so again, just before I go, anybody who's wanting one-to-one coaching, one-to-one guitar lesson, or better yet, join my coaching group, hit me up. There is the WhatsApp, and you can talk to me directly. Please subscribe, please like. It's been an absolute blast today. I've enjoyed it. Mind you, I could have done some more playing, but the questions have been absolutely brilliant. Absolutely, totally loved it. So thank you very much for the insightful interrogation. It's much appreciated. And I think, let me have a look here. Thanks, Tim. I'm back to recording Richie Blackmore. Great. Enjoy. I think that's quite a good way to spend the day, you know, recording Richie. I should have spent more attention to those classic rock guys, honestly. I never went as far back as Richie. Alright, so it's been a very, very busy morning today. It's been wonderful seeing everybody. Please do remember to like, subscribe, as I keep saying. I'm a broken record, but I'm coming to the close now because I'm running late. And I'll be here tomorrow morning. And don't forget the WhatsApp number. Alright, everybody, I'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye for now.